Let's go see our farm. Hey guys.
Hi friends, it's Miss Jess and I'm here with my kiddo Sophia, and Sophia has Nova with her. So I told you guys that I would take you on a little bit of a farm tour. Here at the house we have a little bit of a hobby farm. It's not a working farm, and when I say it's not a working farm, I don't mean that it's not a lot of work, because it is a lot of work. We're just not really making money is what I mean by that. We do sell goats, African pygmy goats, but we sell them to kind of help feed them. And then we also sell fancy poultry. So when I say poultry, that's like chickens and other birds, but here it's chickens. We sell Polish chickens and we sell silky chickens, but right now we don't even have anything but a rooster. So we're actually sold out, or we got rid of all the chickens we had last season, and I was hoping to add more chickens this year. We were planning on incubating eggs with the kiddos, and so I'm hoping just maybe we'll still get to do that, but if we do not, I will be incubating eggs here, and I'll share that process with you via video.
You're gonna hear some vocabulary you may not have heard before as we do our barn tour. So I'm gonna ask the kids a few questions and I'm gonna have them answer for you so you know what words you may hear as we look in the barn. All right, so Hudson, tell me what you call a boy goat that can be a dad.
A buck.
Awesome. What do you call a boy goat, Sophia, that can no longer be a dad?
A wether.
A wether. That means it's been castrated. It can't have babies anymore. Hudson, what do you call a girl goat?
A doe.
Good. What about a baby goat, Sophia?
If it's a girl, it's a doeling. If it's a boy, it's a buckling.
Yes, but all baby goats are also called what?
Kids.
Kids. Awesome. All right, so if you're caring for livestock, one of the biggest, most important things you do is give your animals clean, fresh water. It's more important than food or anything else. So right now, Riker is filling up waters. We bring them out of each stall and we rinse them out and we refill them every month. So for several of the waters, we just go ahead and bring the hose in to fill them up because they're pretty heavy to carry in. So the boys are taking care of filling up all the other waters after they've already sprayed them down and cleaned them out this morning. What are you doing, Riker man? Lance has got the job of filling water. So we feed our goats a pelleted grain, and actually this is not what we normally feed, but because of the quarantine, we're feeding something different. Our grain store is hard to get to at the moment, and I'm sure that they don't have what we need right now. They're in another little small town. In this mix, we've got some pelleted feed, but if you look really carefully, there's also some grains in there, and you can see. They get a flake of hay per pen twice a day. They get free fed hay as much as they'll eat. So the boys are gonna get ready and start on cleaning out pens. We've kind of let everybody run for now. Usually we have several goats that are inside the barn, especially our show does and our show goats. They do like cereal as a treat, so sometimes we'll treat them with cereal. So the goats are running around and enjoying the nice weather. The kids are actually cleaning out the center of the barn, the area where we walk, even though, you know, we're over there. Shavings and hay inevitably end up in the center of the barn too, as we open gates and close gates and as the animals eat. And then they're going to muck out the stalls. So we'll take a look and see what. So the boys are actually raking out the walkway. Sophie's helping too. Bryce is using a rake and he's raking it all into a pile. And then Hudson is using a pitchfork. Show him your tool, Hudson. It's a small pitchfork. And then he's gonna scoop it up and put it right over there in that wheelbarrow. Then we wheel it over away from the barn and away from where we raise the goats, because you don't want soiled or dirty bedding or hay near your animals where you're raising them. You wanna get that out of there. You'll see that they like to butt heads. That's how goats play. It's kind of like, how are you doing? You know, let's play. It's a playful thing they do. They also do that sometimes if you have two bucks, they'll butt heads, kind of to show who's boss, especially if girls are around. Sophie's not being much help right now. She's keeping goats company. All right, so this is probably the kids' favorite part of the barn. Can you tell us, is this a playhouse, guys?
No.
No, what do you call that thing?
A hayloft.
A hayloft. It's called a hayloft. And what is it used for, Hudson?
It's used for keeping hair off the ground so it doesn't get dirty.
It doesn't get,
moldy and stuff.
yeah, right. It's a dry place to store your hay. People will also use it for straw. We have some straw up there also. Sometimes we'll use straw for bedding in the winter. We also do have some hay down here too. We really could use a bigger hayloft. But if you look, it's on top of pallets that keeps it kind of off the ground, so there's ventilation that goes between it and the ground so it doesn't get soggy underneath there and it doesn't get wet or moist. So they're cleaning up the stalls. They're getting all the old bedding and hay out of the stalls now, and then we'll put new bedding down. Some happy girls over here. They've got new bedding. And you'll see there's lights in these two stalls. There really doesn't need to be one in here right now. We just do that when it gets really cold, and sometimes we'll have moms that'll go over there. We have one mama in here who recently had to have part of her hair shaved off because she had a C-section. She was pregnant and she was going to have kids. And when it was time for her to have kids, she was unable to push them out, so she had to have a small cut made in her side. So they shaved all the hair off and they made a small cut and incision, and they pulled the babies out of her side, and so she's still shaved. So it's nice for her to have a heat lamp if it gets too cold that she can go and rest under. And then if you come over here, you see there's a stall behind. They're still working on getting that one cleaned out. But this mom here is expecting kids before too terribly long, and so she also has a heat lamp in that far corner. And that is so when she cleans off her babies, they'll have somewhere warm to rest, because young kids need to be kept very warm.
Hi, boys and girls. So this week we've been talking about farm animals, and we're talking specifically about goats today. So I thought it would be fun to learn a new finger play. And this one is called the gate swing open. So we're gonna build a gate with our hands like this, and then we're gonna say, the gates swing open and the goats run free. They climb the branches of the apple tree. They fall asleep on the apples they ate. Carry them home. Oh, those are heavy goats. And shut the gate. So I told you that I wanted to share a goat book with you, and the story that I've chosen is Goldilocks and the Three Bears. It's actually a fractured fairy tale, so it's a fairy tale that's been rewritten. There's some fun new changes. I think you're gonna notice some of them right off the bat. Let's get started. Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Written by Erica S. Pearl. Illustrated by Arthur Howard. Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Once upon a time, there was a kid named Goldilocks. She lived down the road from a family of bears. When the bears went out for a walk one morning, well, you can probably guess what Goldilocks did. Inside the bear's house, Goldilocks found 3 bowls of porridge. She tasted the big bowl, but it was too hot. She tasted the medium bowl, but it was too cold.
Then she tasted the little bowl. It was just right, so she ate it. The little spoon, too. Burp. Next, Goldilocks found 3 chairs. She tried the big chair, but it was too hard. She tried the medium chair, but it was too soft. Then she tried the little chair. Oh, it was just right. So, what do you think she's gonna do? She ate it, cushions and all. I've heard that goats will eat anything. What do you think? At this point, Goldilocks began to feel sleepy. Upstairs, she found 3 beds. She tested the big bed, but it was too lumpy. She tested the medium bed, but it was too squishy. I see a hose running to that bed. It does look squishy. Then she tested the little bed. It was just right. So she ate it, plus the blanket, 2 pillows, and a pair of pajamas. Then with a contented sigh, Goldilocks fell fast asleep. Shortly thereafter, the bears came home. You can probably imagine the commotion. How do you think Goldilocks is going to feel when the bears find her? Someone has been eating my porridge, said Papa Bear. Someone has been eating my porridge, said Mama Bear. Hey, where's my porridge? Asked Baby Bear. Get a load of this, called Papa Bear from the dining room. Someone has been sitting in my chair. Gracious, said Mama Bear. Someone has been sitting in my chair. Hey, where's my chair? Asked Baby Bear. They found the culprit upstairs. My bed, wailed Baby Bear. It's gone. Goldilocks opened her eyes. Above her stood 3 bears. Oh my, I can only imagine how she's feeling. Do you think she's feeling angry, surprised, or scared? I think she might be feeling 2 of those emotions. Quickly, she jumped up and hoofed it for home, which probably sounds like the end of the story, but the next day, Goldilocks woke up feeling, well, a little sheepish. She wanted to make things right with her neighbors, but how? Outside, she found her answer. How could the bears resist? Her gift was so pretty, so thoughtful, it was just right. I'm looking and I see some flowers, and on the flowers I notice a card. The card says, "For the 3 bears." Her gift was just right. So, what do you think they're gonna do? They ate it. Burp! Did any of you predict they were gonna eat the flowers? That is so silly. The end. So in our story, our goats would eat just about anything. We figured we would test that theory out, and we have some of the items from the book. We have a flower. See if they'll eat the flower, so try to give it, bring it down to some of these guys. Yeah, not interested, right? All right, what else do we have, Soph? What about the spoon? See if they'll eat that spoon. Still not interested. We put a chair in there. They're interested in the chair, but I don't think anybody's gonna eat it. Goats are curious by nature, and they nibble on things just to kind of get to know what they are, to explore them. I think I know what goats like. Sophia, can you grab the hay? It's time for feeding time.